Hello everyone. Again welcome to our video series of ADBMS. In today video lectures we will discuss synonyms and sequence, which is our unit 1 part. So starting with synonyms and sequence, first of all we understand the theory of synonyms and sequence in this video, and after the next video we have to implement synonyms and sequence in the SQL prompt or Oracle. So starting with the first one is synonyms. So first of all, what do you mean by a synonyms? Synonyms means alternative name for database objects like table, index and sequence. Synonyms can be used to hide the actual identity of the objects, like I want to hide my actual name of the table from the another user, then I can hide using the synonyms. Also hide index name, also hide the sequence name. For example, if there need to hide the name of the some particular table, then the synonyms can be created to refer that table. Hide the original name of the table. That means synonyms means to hide the actual name of the table, index or sequence. So we have for example, user 1 can create a synonyms for customer table honored by the user 2. In this example, user 1 create a synonyms of the customer table which is honored by the user 2. So the customer table hide its original name. Before this query, we must grant to user 1 to perform these operations. So these are the syntax to create a synonyms. Create synonym, synonym name. Okay. For object name or the table name. Let us see the example. As a user 2, create a synonyms for customer table honored by the user 1. Okay. So create synonyms. cust is synonyms name for user 1 dot customer. Here user 1 dot customer is actual or original table name and cust is the synonyms. So we can access this table as cust name by creating the synonyms. Okay. In next lecture we have to implement this query. So you clearly you have clear about the synonyms. Okay. For the how to destroy a synonyms, drop synonyms name. These are the syntax for the dropping a synonyms. Clear? Sequence. So first of all, what is a sequence? In our table, there are the different records are available. Different name, different ID, different branches, different etc. are available in the table. So it is required that each record must have a different value. In our SQL or database, the primary key constraint ensure that there are the different value are or not null and unique value available in our table by do not allowing a duplicate or null value in the column defined as the primary key, such as columns generated contain the sequential number as like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to thousands, 100, which how many in our database data is needed depends on this. While entering data manually in insert or update operation, it is difficult to track such type of sequence. For example, in my table, student table, I have a student ID. So for the student ID, I have to enter a sequence number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to 100. Okay. In between entering all the data, I have successfully entered 100 data. But after updating some operations or deleting some data, difficult to track the sequence of my table. So, in the Oracle or database, there are the simply and automatically counter which is generated sequential number whenever it is required. There is no need to insert by the user manually. It is automatically generated counter. A sequence can be defined as the following purpose: to generate a number in ascending or descending order. Which type of sequence you have to create it? This type of sequence automatically counter will be created. To provide a travels between a number, to catching sequence number in memory, speed up their availability. So, how to create a sequence? For the sequence, their syntax is some long, but read carefully. Create sequence, sequence name, start with any number, increment by any number, minimum value, any number, no minimum value, maximum value, no maximum value, cycle, no cycle, catch, no catch, order and no order. So, the syntax of the sequence is too long, but it is too easy to remember. Okay. Now onwards, we have to see one by one definition of which type of sequence we have to create it, or start with. What do you mean by start with? What do you mean by increment? What do you mean by catch? What do you mean by order? Okay. So, first of all, in our syntax, create sequence, sequence name. Okay. Start with and. Then what do you mean by start with? Specify the first sequence number. Default for ascending sequence is minimum value is 1. For descending sequence, the maximum value is 1. Start with n. If you does not specify any kind of value n, then by default it start with 1. Next, increment by 1. Then what do you mean by increment by? Specifies the interval between sequence number. It can be a positive value, negative value, but need not be a 0. By default, it is 1. Next one is mean value. Specify the sequence minimum value. No mean value. Specify a minimum value 1 for ascending sequence and 10 to 26 for descending sequence. It is, if you not specify any minimum value, then it is by default, it is this value is considered. Maximum value, specify the sequence maximum value. If no maximum value specified, then the Oracle consider a specific maximum value is 1027 for ascending sequence and -1 for descending sequence. Cycle, if my maximum value is 50, starting with 1, I reach 50. Then, if I have given a cycle, then my data or sequence again starting with the 1, repeated by the first one. Specify the repeated cycle to generating a value after reaching the maximum value. No cycle, specify that no more number can be generated after reaching the maximum value. Catch, specify how many value to generate it in advance and to keep in memory for faster access. Minimum value is 2 for this options. No catch, specify that no any value will be generated in the advanced order. Guaranteed that the sequence number are generated in order. This is only used by using parallel services of parallel mode. No order does not guarantee that the sequence number are generated in order while using parallel services in parallel mode. So, these are the specification with our syntax of the sequence. Start with, increment, minimum, maximum, cycle, catch, order, no order. So, for this sequence used in our table, we have two pseudo column is next value and current value. It is provided by Oracle itself. Oracle provide a two pseudo column, next value and current value. Once a sequence is created, then you can access its value by SQL statement with the current value pseudo column, which is return a current value of the sequence, and the next value pseudo column, which is increment the sequence and return the new value. The pseudo column are used with the sequence name described as below. Syntax for the pseudo column used: sequence name dot current value, sequence date, sequence names or dot next value. Now see the example of the sequence. Create sequence. Sequence name is my sequence. Start with 1. It is incremented by 1. Minimum value is 1. Maximum value is 99. I have no cycle. So this syntax you have to type in SQL or Oracle, then your sequence is successfully created. After creating a sequence, we have to use our two pseudo column, next value and current value. So for using this, we have to insert a data into table, then we have to use insert into table values. Instead of student underscore ID, I have to use sequence name dot next value and another value name. In next lectures, or how to destroying a sequence, to drop a sequence name. Okay. In our next video, we have to implement synonyms and sequence. So you all are clearly a concept of your sequence. Okay. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for watching this video.